Digimon Liberator now has a website to start collecting all the information on it, and likely will be where the web novel will eventually begin serialization sometime in April of 2024. Do beware if you go there and start clicking on things that are already showing off the champion forms of our seeming two main Digimon. So if you wish to avoid such spoilers, I'm warning you now. Though I have seen other people put those champion forms in thumbnails on YouTube already, so apparently some people love to give out spoilers, so maybe I'm alone? Now let me know down in the comments below if you're grateful for the work to avoid spoiling it all for you, or if you'd rather I went all in with the info and just told you it all anyway. With the first trailer coming out on October 30th of last year, and then the second trailer on December 23rd, we're starting to get an idea of what's going on here. Especially now with the addition of a synopsis section on the website, there are a few things that are worth taking a look at. Let's take a bit into the dive into what we know about Digimon Liberator is, and give a few guesses at what might just be going on here. Are we possibly going to have to learn and understand the modern card game to understand this? That everyone needs to learn the game in order to understand it? Well, if you tie it in that way, that's more work for people, but it would get them more interested in the card game, but this is a novel, not an actual anime that most people would want to put that kind of work into. Well, let's dive into it and take a look. Welcome to the Digimon Liberator website. I will have a link down in the description below if you wish to come here and check this out yourself. It is not a lot to look at right now, so I'll make this fairly quick. You've already seen our main character in Teron. We'll get to his name in just a moment. You've seen the two different trailers beforehand. If you haven't, if they've been out a while, you can look at my other content and I'll tell you more about those. So here we go. We look at our, apparently, 4 main humans and a couple of their Digimon. So just the quick things that jump out to me looking at what they tell us here. Telling his name is Shota Kazuma, sure, that's not a problem. But look at that age 19. Now, this isn't necessarily new. Edgy was also a bit of an older character. And, Data Squad has given us older characters, so it's not exactly a brand new thing for Digimon, but it has almost always consisted of kids that are middle school or probably lower for most of it. And as the fan base has grown older, it feels like they've made a concerted effort to make their characters at least a little older. And also the other thing that strikes me when looking at this is this 4th line, deck type. So literally, these characters are going to have decks. So can we actually know them for their decks? Can they actually be something that we learn their decks and will actually be using them? Or is this just something that comes up that he happens to be using a deck, but when we get into meeting real Digimon, which we'll get into in the synopsis down below, won't really be such a big deal? I don't know. I'm a little iffy on what would really be best, and let me know down below, is Bird Beatdown actually a deck type? I don't know very much about the card game, and this web comic may very well force me to learn a bit more. So let's find out. Let me know if that is a deck. I'm guessing that it is a new deck type that would be using the card that apparently he is here. But if the characters themselves are actually cards in their own universe, that would be kind of weird, I think. So we'll have to see about that. I'm assuming they're not going to be actually a card in the world. They're just showing off the card here. Alright, so now we move on to Teromon. There is a black box that you'll be seeing on the screen. I am covering up the champion form. If you want to know more, well, you'll be able to look at it yourself, but I'm not going to spoil it for you. So he's apparently a cross between a bird and a dragon, and he's actually a data type, which I'm guessing this is our main character. That is very unusual. They're almost always vaccine types or virus at this point, actually, with Gamamon, Guillemon. Actually having a main Digimon that's a data type is actually a bit unusual, though having a partner Digimon data type is not at all. Just another little thing here that's interesting. I do very much like Teromon's design in general. I mean, he's a bird dragon, so part dragon kind of side of things. I do definitely like that general look about him. And then his best friend, it seems like, what we'll do was what her role will be. I mean, 17, maybe there's some love interest here. I'm sure people will ship them across the internet. That is what the internet does. There's Arisa Kamasaki, again age 17, so only 1 year difference from our main character. And her deck type is Puppet Aggro, which, I mean, I know what aggro is. Aggro would be a low memory cost deck, so you're trying to just use a whole bunch of stuff at once and overwhelm your opponent before they get to really do their plan. And puppets are just the type. So I could see that these decks, at least these deck types, already do exist. They probably are a real thing already. Just, you know, Arisa and, as we'll see in a moment, Shuman are probably not a part of it yet because, well, they're not really out yet. As we're talking about Shuman, he is a virus type. Okay, most puppets I find are virus type. Once again, I am blocking out the champion form because I am not going to spoil people about this. You'll be able to do that on your own terms if you so wish to do so. And it's kind of cute, but it's like one of those puppets again. I'm not as big on this design. I will say I like the champion design more, but once again, I'm not going into that because that's not what this is about. And this is Arisa's partner. So these two are together, most likely. And then we have just images and names for two others. We have Owen here, who has huge zippers on these shorts. I mean, you would get these caught on so many things. I have no idea. He looks like our edgy Matt kind of character for this season. That's just a really quick look at him. I mean, obviously I have no idea outside of that. And Zenith, who seems like a more happy, less edgy kind. So, I mean, he could also be a Matt type, but definitely a bit more... He looks also a little older to me. Maybe not. Hard to say. Again, those are just names and images, so it's hard to say too much. Now, here is the big thing that we have to look at. This is our synopsis so far. The Digimon card game has evolved. After a long, closed beta test, Digimon Liberator, a futuristic and fully immersive game that allows players to enjoy card battles in the metaverse space of Lucana, has finally been officially launched. So this is sounding like another metaverse, so probably like an Eden, but it's actually made for the cards. I mean, we've seen many different things do this, like Yu-Gi-Oh! They summon the holograms to fight each other. This is a concept that's been done a few times, and it works, so I'm not sad to see Digimon taking a shot at it. Shoto Kazuma, a boy who was never able to win a card battle because of his habit of giving up on things easily. Hey, as a kid, I gave up on things really easily. I can fully understand this. that definitely happened to me many times. Enters the world of Liberator through the invitation of his childhood friend Arisa. So, yeah. I believe they will just be friends, but I'm sure all of you thirsty people will be shipping them before too long. Encounters with wild Digimon. Battles with NPCs who have gone rogue. NPCs who have gone rogue. So, there's actually going to... So, that is different than Digimon. So, this sounds like there'll actually be humans in there that are like just, you know, AI computer controlled. So they'll actually be... Will they just be fighting them in card battles? Or will they actually be, you know... I don't think you're going to stop up and walk to a wild Digimon and say, hey, you rampaging Monochromon, I'm going to challenge you to a card game. I assume you're just going to get run over. I don't think that's how that's going to work. Possibly the NPC, some of their programming remains that you can challenge them to a card battle to fix them? That seems awful video gamey kind of logic, but, you know, it could be something that they do. These various happenings set the wheels of fate in motion. This is a story about Digimon and the world. So, is this really even taking place in the digital world? This is going to be like another Eden from Cyber Sleuth, where it's really taking place in a totally different location. And it's really just being pushed that Digimon are here, like they've been created. Because Seekers has almost been pushing this bot thing, where the Digimon don't really necessarily seem to be fully real and fully functioning. So this could be another thing where they're pushing that even further. And that's all that is currently here on the website. So it seems like a little bit of a Tamers situation where people know of Digimon. Digimon's definitely a thing, just like you and I. You know, we know Digimon exists. But here we're finding that, you know, Digimon are really exist and are a problem. Now, whether it's just it's an issue in this world, so it only becomes an issue to them, or if we're doing like a Sword Art kind of thing where they're trapped in this world, and so they have to fix it and fight their way out in order to fix it and get themselves out. There's definitely a few interesting angles that it could do. and I assume we will learn more at Digimon Con. Is expected to be on March 6th of this year. That is the last I've heard of the date. I cannot find an official place to confirm that, so keep that in mind. I'm sure since this is coming out in April, we will hear more about it there. And so, what do you think that Digimon Liberator will be? Will it be something that you have to know the card game in order to understand? Is it something that's going to make you want to learn the card game in order to actually be able to do it? Is this how they're going to announce the partnered online digital card game version of it, where we can actually play online and collect the cards and play all that way? That would be a really great way to put it all together. I'm still not holding my breath that that's what's going to happen, but this is big enough. It would be a great way to announce it and bring it in with the main characters also playing pretty much the same thing. Obviously, I'm not expecting VR holograms and stuff, but if they somehow also make it VR, oh my gosh, that would be amazing. But that, I think we're shooting for the stars. I don't think anything like that's happening. The fact that this is only a web novel and not an anime already shows me that I don't think they had the budget for that kind of thing. But thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. We're only about 70 subscribers away from that magical 1,000 number. So if you haven't, please consider subscribing. And as always, everyone, remember to be awesome. Till the next one, take care. Bye-bye.